So this is the first oil change I've done since I rebuilt the engine, and I did rebuild the engine about a year ago. So I know I should have done it sooner, but haven't driven the truck a lot. Anyways, it's gonna be fine. It definitely needs to be changed. Glad I'm getting into it now. Woo! I'm gonna try and do this without getting any on the garage floor. Hey, we're doing okay. The other thing that's great to do anytime an oil change is happening is just grease any zerks that you got. These are my kingpins here. Oh man, tight grease zerk. Sometimes these can really give you grief. You can get plugged up. There we go, it is moving though. You just see the grease coming out of the top here. That's good. And I'll just wipe it off so it doesn't get on my brakes. I'm missing my dust shield. Also, the grease that came out of there was a similar color to the grease that went in, which means it's not too dirty, which is great. Okay. There is one up top here, and we're gonna try and get it. So this Zerk isn't accepting grease, so we're gonna actually remove it and put it in the vise and try and pump grease through it. And they're pretty new, so they're not hard to take off. I wasn't worried about stripping it, because I did these kingpins about 3 years ago now. All right, so let's see what we got. Our issue then is not with the Zerk itself, but the kingpin. Which is slightly concerning, because we want to keep that kingpin lubricated. Anyways, I know I lubricated it when I installed it, and I remember having one Zerk that was tricky, but I didn't really inspect it then. I really should have. I'm gonna put the Zerk back in, and then we may just address this another day, because it's the middle of winter and I don't really have the facilities to take apart kingpins right now, nor the desire to. Okay, get this thing buttoned up. Okay, snug but not too tight. Looks good. Alright, time to get that oil filter off. And I think I'm gonna lay a sheet of plastic on the ground just so that I don't cover my nice garage floor in oil. The truth. Take a little bit of the oil that's left here, put it on this rubber seal of the new filter, slide on snugly without snagging. So yes, this is a Fram, and I know lots of people love to say all kinds of things about Fram. It's not the cheapest Fram, it's a nice Fram. And I actually bought another Motocraft filter, like Ford brand official. I bought two when I did the rebuild. One for the first oil and one for after the first oil change. And you know what? I can't find it. I think it might be down in storage in St. Catharines. So went and just got what was available. So for oil, I am using a Shell Rotella T4, and this is actually a diesel oil, and it's a conventional diesel oil. So I'm using conventional because this engine would have been designed for conventional, so I figure it doesn't hurt to just use conventional. And then also the diesel part is important because diesel oils have higher zinc in them than typical gas engines, and these older engines were designed for oil with more zinc, which is a lubricant. And so you either got to get normal gas engine oil and add a zinc lubricant to it, like an additive, or you just get diesel oil. And I've been running this for quite a while. I know a lot of people run it and they're quite happy with it, so we're gonna carry on. If you haven't figured out yet, I really hate spilling stuff and don't like messes. So I used to not have a filter, and I don't know why, or a funnel. I mean, I used to try and do it without a funnel, and I to this day do not know why I did not just spend the few dollars to buy a blasted funnel. The wisdom of youth, eh? That's a joke. I think I've gotten wiser with age. I forget the exact capacity, but it's either 5 or 5.5 liters. For all those in the USA, I don't know how many quarts that is. It's 5 or 6, something around there. I always like to do a quick check under there and make sure I did put the drain plug back in. Nothing's pouring out, and I did. So we're good. Anyways, I cannot hear the oil draining anymore, so we're gonna check the dipstick. So we're actually we're right at this add/safe level, so it's pretty good. I think I only have like half a liter left in the jug, so it's going in. So while we're under here, I might as well talk a little bit about some of the work that's going to be coming up. So the biggest thing is that my power steering pump here, these Ford pumps are notorious for just making a lot of noise, and on these Ford trucks particularly, part of that reason is because on the power steering box here, the highest point is actually not the return line. It's actually kind of up and to the left of the return line, so you can get an air pocket in there, and then that means that your pump ends up cavitating, which is not good. And I also have a new rag joint to put in, which goes in between the steering column and the steering box. And at the same time we do that, to put the rag joint in, we have to take the steering box off. And so when we have the steering box off, that's a really good time to do a new power steering pump, because you can then rotate the steering box to get the bubbles out of the system while you have the pump turning by hand. So this is a decent time to just take a quick moment and remind you to dispose of your oil in a responsible manner that is friendly to the environment and protects this world for future generations. Yeah, there you go. Public service announcement. Put your oil in a jug, take it to your local dump or hazardous waste drop-off site where they can dispose of it properly. So the last step of my oil change process is to check the mileage. So we have got solid 20,774 kilometers on here, and I used to write it down and have a little book that I tracked in, but I like spreadsheets, so I've moved to that. So we'll get that recorded, and then we'll know to change the oil at around 25,000, 26,000. Well, that's a wrap on the oil change. Pretty happy with how it went. Got the oil done, got the kingpin zerks greased. I also greased, not on camera, but I also greased the tie rod arm zerks, and also the drive shaft, which really needed it. There was not much grease in there, but still doesn't have any play, so we're in good shape. Anyways, this machine is gonna keep ticking for a while longer, so
thanks for watching. Hang in there, get out, work on your own stuff. Even if it's just a little bit, do it because you enjoy it. Take care. We'll see you soon.